I am in Kirovsk, Russia, near the museum dedicated to the breakthrough of the siege of Leningrad. Behind me are real military vehicles, Soviet tanks from the World War II period, and more modern armored machines. This place is important because the fighting around Leningrad happened very close to here. So in this video, I want to show you these tanks up close, and show how this history is still visible in the city where I live.
Эти танки настоящие, среди него.
This is a T-80, a Soviet main battle tank known for its gas turbine engine and high speed. It was built during the Cold War, and compared with older Soviet tanks, it was more advanced, more powerful, and designed for fast movement on the battlefield.
О, видишь, помято. Это значит, что их уже разбомбили, эти танки. Это настоящие, да? Среди него. Да? Это танки среди него? А почему все помятые? А почему помятые тогда? А почему тогда помятые?
This is a T-72, one of the most widely produced Soviet main battle tanks. It was designed to be powerful, compact, and easier to maintain than more complex tanks. Because of that, the T-72 became one of the most recognizable armored vehicles of the Cold War era. This is a T-62M, a modernized version of the Soviet T-62 tank. The original T-62 was developed after the T-55, and this upgraded version received extra armor and improvements that helped keep an older tank in service for many more years. This is a T-55M, a modernized version of the Soviet T-55 tank. The T-55 became one of the most famous Soviet tanks of the Cold War era, and this upgraded version received extra protection and improved systems to keep it useful for many more years. This is a KV-1, a Soviet heavy tank from the World War II period. It was known for its thick armor, which made it very difficult to destroy in the early years of the war. Tanks like this were heavy, slow, and not easy to operate, but they played an important role in Soviet armored warfare. This is a T-38, a small Soviet amphibious tank from the World War II period. It was light, compact, and designed to cross water, not to fight like a heavy tank. Vehicles like this were used for reconnaissance, support, and movement through difficult terrain. This is a KV-1S, a faster version of the Soviet KV-1 heavy tank. The letter S means speed. This version had less armor than the original KV-1, but it was lighter, more mobile, and easier to handle on the battlefield. This is a T-26, a Soviet light tank from the pre-war and early World War II period. It was not heavily armored, but it was simple, light, and produced in large numbers. By the time of the war, it was already becoming outdated, but tanks like this were still used in difficult fighting. This is a BT-5, a Soviet fast tank from the 1930s. The BT series was built for speed and mobility, not heavy armor. By World War II, tanks like this were already outdated, but they were still used in the early and very difficult stages of the war. Here you can see what looks like an impact mark on the armor. I cannot confirm exactly what hit this tank, but it looks like battle damage, possibly from a shell or another anti-tank weapon. This is the KV-1 Leningradets, a Soviet heavy tank from the World War II period. This tank was recovered from the Neva River, not far from the places where heavy fighting happened during the siege of Leningrad. I think I still have some footage of the recovery process somewhere. So, if this is interesting to you, write it in the comments, and I can make a separate video about how this tank was pulled out of the river. This is the legendary Soviet T-34, one of the most famous tanks of World War II. It became known for its strong combination of firepower, mobility, and sloped armor. For many people, the T-34 is not just a tank. It is one of the main symbols of the Soviet victory in the war. This is the GAZ A Soviet truck, better known as the Polutorka. It was a simple and reliable 1.5-ton truck used in huge numbers before and during World War II. During the siege of Leningrad, trucks like this became especially important. They helped carry supplies, people, and cargo when the city was fighting to survive.
Он как будто гудит. Там некоторые окна открыты. О, молодец. Пап, тут не стреляй, тут кушают. Не стреляй. Так? Граната.
Есть такая МП, по-моему,
Кстати, звук. Я забыла, как это называется. Как называется, я забыла. Тубополоза, да? Что?
This is where our short walk around the museum area ends. But we will definitely come back and go inside the museum. I have been there several times, and I promise, it is really interesting. So next time, I will film a separate video from inside, and show you what this place looks like beyond the tanks outside.